Accidents, emergencies, and illness are part of daily life. Unfortunately, many don't have the resources necessary to deal with the problem at hand. That's where Operation Roundup comes in. Southern Pine rounds up the electric bills of members who participate to the nearest whole dollar amount. The difference collected from this monthly roundup goes into the Operation Roundup Trust Fund. People in need and volunteer organizations across Southern Pine's service area may make application to Operation Roundup. The application procedure is simple, yet thorough. An all-volunteer trust board meets every other month to consider each application on its own merit. The board then determines which applicants have the greatest needs and awards funds accordingly. Now, we would like for you to meet just a few of the people you've helped through Operation Roundup. Heather and Brandon Odom were excitedly awaiting the arrival of their first child in January 2012. Their son Cole was delivered full term, but in spite of all the testing during pregnancy, he was unexpectedly born with an anal rectal malformation. This condition is serious and requires an immediate colostomy, follow-up surgeries, and long-term care in a newborn intensive care unit. After learning about Cole's problems, Heather became upset and her blood pressure rose drastically. She was forced to remain in the local hospital while Cole and Brandon were rushed to Mobile for Cole to receive the care he required.
It was a lot. It was kind of hard to do, be a parent, but be a husband, because one's in one place and one's in the other, but I knew she was fine. I wanted to make sure he was going to be taken care of.
Cole remained in intensive care for 2 months. It was a very difficult time for the young family.
I was pretty much getting up about 3 in the morning. I'd leave out by 4, drive back to Bruton, go to work for 8 hours, and after I get off, I'd drive back. And I'd only get to see him for maybe an hour, and then they closed the NICU down, and it was time for me to go back to the room, get some sleep so I can get up and go to work again in the morning. It's hard driving by yourself back and forth every day that long, but I gotta take care of my family.
The bills don't stop, and gas is a lot. So therefore, him going back and forth to work, he was using half of his check for gas.
The couple learned about Operation Roundup and made application for assistance.
We were approved for Operation Roundup. We were so blessed by it. It helped us tremendously. We were able to use gas to go back and forth to his appointments on our gas cards.
I do very much appreciate it, considering, everything that was going on. It's a blessing, for somebody to be able to have something like that to help people that need help.
Cole is doing well now, and his parents are very thankful. Cole will require 1 more surgery to reverse the colostomy. Once he heals from the surgery, he should have no further limitations.
I'm pretty much ready for him to be able to come outside and play.
He's a miracle.
Yeah.
The long-established Bruton First United Methodist Men's Group believed they needed their own special ministry in order to become closer to each other and better serve God. Through a series of seemingly random events, the men's ministry slowly evolved. God sent men with building and professional grilling expertise to join the group. A lady in their congregation had need for a wheelchair ramp, and they built it. A used commercial smoker came available for purchase. Through God's great providence, the men's group was led to begin a much-needed wheelchair ramp ministry. The men began smoking and selling hams and Boston butts for holidays, selling 250 to 300 each time. These proceeds fund the purchase of materials to build the chair ramps that vary in cost from $400 to $900. And that's just for materials. The labor is all volunteer.
We had just all kind of demand after that. Goodwill started calling us with orders. They help us some in financing it, and between that and nursing care personnel that take care of people in need, we have more orders for wheelchair ramps than you can imagine. Because of Southern Pines Operation Roundup and other programs which donate to us. Have been able to do almost 100 ramps in less than 3 years.
The men have now built more than 100 ramps. Every time they build one, they pray with the recipients, asking that only good things come up that ramp. Christopher Buki Thompson, his grandfather, and younger brother Eli were in a nearly fatal motor scooter accident. Buki's femur was completely shattered. Eli had head injuries. Their grandfather was pronounced dead, but miraculously revived. Buki is now in a halo, confined to a wheelchair, and faces many surgeries ahead. The young family couldn't afford a ramp. A relative took the little wood they had and tried to build one, but it was too steep for Buki's mother to manage. The Methodist men discovered the family's dilemma and built them a ramp. Buki is enjoying getting outside again, and the ramp has helped his family greatly.
He broke his growth plate, and they said that he'll have to have surgeries over and over again to extend his legs until he's fully grown. So we're going to need the ramp for years and years, over and over again.
Franchon Baldwin suffers from a number of health problems and is in a power chair. The chair limited her life and made it difficult for her to get outside her home. A ramp was expensive and for her, unaffordable. Once the Methodist men learned of her need, they built her a ramp that has changed her life.
The ramp has not only made a difference in my life, but in my family life. My husband's having to help me in and out. I was becoming not myself. I was very unhappy because I couldn't hardly get out for the pain. So now it has made my life easier and his life easier and my children, because I'm able to do more outside again and enjoy my life again and be happy and be myself. This has really shown me that there are good people out there and that God is still in the working business.
These are a few of the men who make this ministry possible, and this is how they feel about their ministry.
This is my heart. I love working on wheelchair ramps. I love to see the people's faces and stuff when they get to go up and down them the first time, and it's a wonderful feeling. It's the best feeling in the world.
Well, personally, it gives me a really deep sense of satisfaction. And as far as what it does for the people that we do it for, I hope it helps them as much as it does me.
When Durwood calls and wants to build a ramp, I always have to say yes, because so far I hadn't read anywhere in the Bible where Jesus said no when somebody asked him for help.
Leonard and Hattie McConaughey have worked hard all their lives to support themselves and their family. For 9 years, Leonard has had diabetes, but it was well managed through medication, diet, and exercise. In December of 2011, he began to experience severe problems with his big toe on his left foot. Everything that was possible was done, but eventually his left foot had to be amputated. Then problems began with his right foot. Despite every effort, all the toes on that foot had to be amputated as well. To heal properly, Leonard needed outpatient treatment for 42 days straight in a hyperbaric chamber located in Pace, Florida. Leonard and Hattie would have to drive back and forth each day. Gas was expensive, and Leonard could no longer work.
We began to wonder then, how are we going to do this, every day, with the gas prices and all like they were.
The McConaughey's were surprised at how simple it was to complete their Operation Roundup application. It was not long before they learned they had been approved for transportation assistance.
Oh, when the news came, I felt great. Southern Pine Operation Roundup was a good help.
Thank God we were able to get some help from the Roundup program. And it was really, really a good thing for us because we were able to go back and forth every day. And as you always say, God is good. You don't ever know where your blessings is gonna come from, and that's why I always believe in treat people like you want to be treated. And and your blessings is gonna come.